The drafter of Rigathi impeachment is Wakili Peter Manyonge Wanyama. They have picked Deputy Minority Leader Owen Baya as the mover of the motion. A plan to make it not look like a Gikuyu, contrary to an earlier plan for the impeachment to be moved by Gikuyu. Kimani Chungwa out. The seconder will be from Ukambani, Kibwezi West MP. He's supposed to be the person that is going to second the motion. That is the details. That is the latest from that. ODM leader Raila Odinga's stand on that Rigathi ouster is a key determinant on Rigathi's survival as Kale Axis and Kimani Chungwa emerge as the team going ballistic on this looming ODM party withdrawal being felt. Why? What is Raila Odinga's stand and the masterstroke of the former President Uhuru Kenyata to salvage Rigathi? More details in this podcast, but first things. Baby Becky here is 8 years old baby, was born with cerebral palsy, and she's being managed by the parents. But last year in April, baby Becky had convulsions and was rushed to Kenyata Hospital. For 1.5 years, 1 year and 6 months, the hospital bed in Kenyata has been the home for baby Becky. She was in ICU for 6 months, and when she came out, she lost eyesight. But the doctors are saying that the father, Michael Kamau, can be able to provide home-based care for the child. But for that to happen, a bill of 200,000 Kenyan shillings ought to be paid to the hospital so that baby Becky can be discharged. As Team Bolt, we are coming in to help this situation and discharge baby Becky. I'm so glad. I'm just so touched. Since I started mentioning this, we've managed to get 136,000. Yes, 137,000 and some hundreds there. So the deficit that is remaining is 63,000, and I believe tomorrow at 2 we should be able to send 200,000 to the hospital, pay that money so that baby Becky can be discharged. Kindly take a minute and contribute any amount you can so that we can bridge that deficit. By tomorrow midday will be done and we'll be able to pay 200,000 to the hospital. Thank you for all. I've seen tremendous support on this. The 100,000, the 2 bob. That I've seen many people coming in very special way, and I'm just so thank you on behalf of this family. And also let's pray for them during this moment. I believe that baby Becky will be back home the day after tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to look into something here. And first, listen to this in peace.
Hii ingine utuachie maneno yetu pia kama independent arm of government, which is parliament. Na hata hii rais ukikuja kutuomba, tutakuomba respectfully utuachie to deal na hii mtu ambaye ni mnafiki ya mwisho. Unajua naibu ya rais nimeona ukisema tunaguzia uoga. Sisi hatuusi uoga wala hatununui uoga. Kila nyani iko na siku yake. Na yako ndugu yangu. We are waiting for Tuesday. Wabunge karibu 300 wamekubaliana ya kwamba wewe pumzika, tutakutana mbele. Hii wabunge 300 ni wrong ama wewe mtu mmoja ndio wrong? Na wacha hiyo maneno unasema ati wabunge wamelipwa. Kama kuna mahali ya kulipa, sisi wenyewe tuko ready kulipa, wewe uende nyumbani. Wacha kulipwa, tuko ready kuomba loan kukusaidia uende nyumbani. Kama unataka package ya kwenda nayo nyumbani, tutaomba loan wenyewe, tukuchangie, tukupatie uende. Sababu ya ile kudhalilisha na kudharau na kutusi viongozi umetusi katika Jamhuri ya Kenya. Na ulisema wabunge wengi, sababu hata jana umesema ya kwamba wajumbe wanasema watakufukuza nyumbani, na wakiwakufuza nyumbani watakuwa one term. Mambo yako ni sawa. Kama kutakuwa one term, wewe mwenyewe ukue half term. Tangulia nyumbani, tutakutana baadaye tuseme haleluya tukisonga mbele.
Sasa kuna watu wengine siku hizi wanajaribu kututenganisha, na unachukua sehemu yako, unasema mimi mtu ya mlima. Na sisi tumesema haifai hivyo, because tunataka kukua na Kenya moja. Na Father leo ametufunza, ametuambia ukiona kwa kiungo yako kuna kitu inaweza kukuzuia uende mbinguni, kata. Si ndio? So hii kutoka hii Tuesday hata sisi tutakata sehemu nyingine tumeona inataka kututenganisha, na itakuwa messy na casualty anajijua. Sina maana hiyo. Tuende tukate hiyo mkono, tukate hiyo mguu, tubaki na Kenya moja.
Ndio maana tukasema kwa minajili ya Kenya moja tumeweka sahihi ya kumuondoa kama impeachment na kura kule bungeni. Hata wenye walitangulia na wenye watapitisha hiyo mswada sio sisi, ni wenzake kutoka mlima. Na tumesema ni wakati mzuri kwa sisi wa Kenya ambao tunataka kwenda mbele, tuweke mstari ya Kenya kwa hali ya pamoja, unity, and preserve the sovereignty of this country at the expense of one individual who wants to be so selfish against the wishes of everyone else. So we are tabling in Parliament probably very soon or next week, and the motion is already set. We are going to do, the procedure is done. When we will be done, I want to believe the President is going to take this decisive decision to give us a person who is going to work with him.
It is true, there is an impeachment motion against the Deputy President, and as a Member of Parliament for Kikuyu, I have already appended my signature to it. And I will support that impeachment motion to stop a process where government is being undermined and sabotaged from within government. Ili yale mambo tuliwaambia tutawafanyia tuweze kuyatekeleza. But it is not tenable, it is not feasible that for another 3 years tutakuwa ni siasa ya mlima, siasa ya Lakeside kwa kina Bishop Opio, siasa ya baharini huko Coast. Tufanye siasa ya maendeleo ambayo itatuwezesha tufanye yale mambo tuliyoelezea.
I am afraid I've listened to the Deputy President's word and is saying even if he's going to be impeached, he's asking the Mount Kenya residents to remain united, because all along the plan was to divide them. And he's saying even if he's impeached, remain steadfast and ensure you are not divided, because that is the plan. But I want to say categorically, if what we might see as a divide Mount Kenya, if Ruto kicks Rigathi out of government, then he might end up thrusting himself as the enemy of Mount Kenya. And what is disguised as unity might actually see the region uniting against him in 2027. And just to show you one sign, I've seen Wahome Thuku. Let me just look at a post by Wahome Thuku. He said something about the new police IG Kanja. Kanja is the new IG, police IG, and the plans to arrest even some of those MPs that were lied to Rigathi Gachagua are believed to have been shelved after he also intervened. And let's just look at what. Okay, I just want to look into this. Okay, yes, saying, congratulations, our brand new IG of Police Douglas Kanja, well done. And congratulations too to Justice Mugambi. You have put a sense of discipline in the leadership of police. No officer is above the law. If he was still under the arrogant Japhet Kome and that Masengeli fellow, kina Ngunjiri Wambugu wangekuwa ndani since Friday with or without anticipatory bail. I always wonder how police find joy of punishing people before presenting them to court. It's because they know once the matter gets to court, they become lame ducks. But our Nyeri people are very effective civil servants. Yes, he's saying that the police IG played a role in ensuring that Rigathi allies that were facing arrest were not arrested because the plan was them to be arrested on Friday. Now, I want us to look at this factor keenly and what I started with. Raila Odinga, the ODM leader, jetted in the country on Friday from, of course, a 2 weeks long tour. Raila was with the president in Germany. Then from Germany, he flew directly to the US and accompanied the president during the United Nations General Assembly sessions. And of course, during the time William Ruto was in the US, he was in the New York, he was actually the ODM leader. And Raila was received at the airport with Moses Kuria. And according to part of the plans that I had seen back in Siaya, the ODM leader was supposed to attend Orwenjo Umida burial. Orwenjo Umida is a veteran politician from Siaya who was buried on Saturday. So Raila Odinga was one of the guests who are expected to attend that burial on Saturday. And of course, the media paid attention and pitched tent in that event because that was the opportunity for Raila Odinga to speak out, to speak his mind, or rather to react to this impeachment. But of course, due to some reasons that could not be explained, he did not go there. So the media did not get an opportunity to ask Raila Odinga questions. So Raila did not get an opportunity to react to that discussion about the impeachment. However, a transition had been done at ODM party, and Anyang' Nyong'o was picked as the interim party leader, ODM party leader. So the Central Management Committee that is chaired by Anyang' Nyong'o is the organ that was supposed to meet and issue a party direction to be communicated to members regarding the Rigathi impeachment. Remember, just like UDA party, when it comes to parliament, the way parliament business is run, there is that thing called party position. So apart from other ways of lobbying for people to buy or rather to support what you want or something you want to achieve, there is that which is called party position. And that is why you can see Wiper Party through that belongs to Kalonzo Musyoka have already said they don't support impeachment, and they're telling their members to ensure that that impeachment doesn't sail through. Same to DAPK and the Jubilee Party. So ODM party, which is in that broad-based arrangement with President Ruto, is yet to issue a party directive or a party communication at the regards to this. Remember, this is a very high-profile impeachment, and that is why some people are even talking about much of it. So different reports show that the sponsors of the bill initially had been reaching to individual MPs with bribes, but the number, contrary to reports that that number is 300, that number has not even reached 250. Yes. That is, there is a lot of media flash headlines of 300 MPs have signed that motion. But parliamentary journalists are saying, in fact, what they've been doing is they just signed, if that motion is there, all the mainstream media have an idea about what is there and what is not there, but not a real copy on it. And you can see the way so much has been served about that. But there is something that President Ruto can't seem to escape through this. Now, Uhuru Kenyata dispatched a high-profile delegation, representatives from different Mount Kenya sectors, the business moguls, and some other prominent persons from Mount Kenya region to Raila's residence to broker peace between Rigathi and William Ruto. The motion is being delayed because of the shaky side of ODM party. But ODM has a party, contrary to UDA, that have come out and said they've whipped their members, they've gone public, even the Secretary General has spoken about it. The ODM party is yet to issue a position statement and directly contact the MPs on what MPs should do. The position of ODM party has not been communicated. And that is one of the factors that has delayed. Remember, I can tell you, if Rigathi survives this impeachment, and he survives this impeachment through his own means of making sure that he dissuades the ODM MPs, some ODM MPs or some MPs to support him, then Ruto is going to foresee a big trouble moving forward. And this effort by the former president is part of the wider scheme to salvage the situation, because there's some to both Uhuru and Raila. There is impact, there also impact on their side in respect to this impeachment. The reckless media reports on Uhuru's sickness are peddled to show that he's detached from this impeachment. But he's also part of the team that have been working behind the scene to salvage Rigathi Gachagua from the wrath of President William Ruto. And I want to speak firm and straight. Raila Odinga's stand of keeping off and avoiding this Rigathi warfare with William Ruto is the best decision that he should and should stick with and for. His verdict should be very clear. And it is very clear that is not ODM party should not be in the front. If you looked at those who are fronting the bill, they are not in the front. They should neither be having an official party position on regarding impeachment, if that position is supposed to support that impeachment. And I want to be categorical why Raila must not marvel at Rigathi impeachment. Number one, William Ruto is setting a stage, might be setting a stage for Rigathi ouster. And let me tell you today, Rigathi is getting to Mount Kenya. It might be too early to predict. But if you look at his rallies and you speak to people, most of our subscribers from Mount Kenya, and you look at the media reports and look at surveys that are being done, researches that are being done, it is coming clearly that between Rigathi, Kindiki and Ruto, Rigathi is above the two in Mount Kenya. And so, if this impeachment fails, William Ruto might reconcile with Rigathi Gachagua out of, there is no option out, because the truth of the matter is you cannot compare Rigathi and Kindiki. Rigathi is more popular in Mount Kenya and is more political machinery than Kindiki. So, And after this impeachment, and this one the Raila think tank should get, Ruto might go back and pick Rigathi and develop a narrative that the plan to impeach you was there because of Raila Odinga. And that is, if Raila decides that maybe he doesn't get AUC seat and decides to support Kalonzo Musyoka in 2027. Tables will turn. This is politics. Someone will not lie to you. I agree. What Ruto and Rigathi are fighting for, if you follow all this shenanigan, it's about fighting for the loot. There is one story that I've been said here, and I looked at it and laughed. One day, Ruto called Rigathi and told Rigathi to leave government. And then Rigathi banged the table. I'm just trying to reason layman. Do you think if Rigathi is called and is told to leave government, did you want Rigathi to smile about it? And say, hey, yes, it's fine, I'm willing. Of course, he's a human being, he can get angry. You know, but I didn't want to get there. Now, Ruto might be setting the stage, knowing very well that this might not go, but in the long run, a narrative will be built, and it will be that Raila, because remember, this impeachment is happening at the time Raila Odinga is in that broad-based arrangement. Why did they impeach Rigathi Gachagua before? Because these things are just starting now. Secondly, this impeachment depends on one factor. Is ODM party going to support? Now, if Raila Odinga MPs, ODM MPs, decides to go, this impeachment tests the loyalty. It tests how much can I pay MPs to do what I want. And can MPs, and if I pay MPs, can they do what I want without question? So if there is a time that we should have a bipartisan approach, is this one. Both UDA and ODM MPs to come out and speak out their independent minds on this impeachment. So that if we allow this impeachment to sail in the platform of we are together and it's broad-based this and that, the next day we will be talking about changing a constitution through parliament and even increasing the term of the president. So, this is a precursor for danger. And that is why the country must be very careful. If you allow this to go, this same parliament the next time, they will be impeaching these broad-based cabinet members. Yes, they will be impeaching the Mbadi, or Paranya, the Johos. Third reason, and this is my position as Kevin Steambold, as bold. Rigathi Gachagua impeachment grounds are flimsy. 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 Those things are, you know, they're not watertight. I hope you, I don't know, I wish I can get that document for you. Someone, I saw it, but someone told me, Kevin, nile unasoma hata wezi nini. Nitumia ile document, unaweza soma na wezi hata screenshot. I wish you get time and read that document. Where is it written in the Constitution that the president and his deputy must always get along? Between 2017 to 2022, William Ruto spent better part of his time attacking the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. Did it ever form a ground for impeachment? We are told of that road, and I've seen people take, and I want us to be very objective. You are told that there was construction of Malindi Kilifi Highway, and then money was rerouted, and that a road was constructed leading to a hotel that is linked to Rigathi. Number one, no one is telling you the name of that hotel. Number two, in this government, there are ministers. The Minister for Transport was Murkomen. Can such thing happen without input of the minister? I also agree that there is a question of how Rigathi Gachagua made 5 billion while his salary is around 200,000. Is around 12 million if it's accumulated for the 2 years. I agree. But isn't it this Kenya Kwanza that dropped some cases that Rigathi was facing on corruption, and so he was compensated? Isn't it? Isn't it this Kenya Kwanza that have been dogged by all manner of corruption scandals? The others are just emotions. Gen Z protest, neither here nor there. That's the most reckless claim, by the way. I agree with Rigathi. There is one claim on that Gen Z protest. I agree. How 35 counties, then you blame one person for sponsoring her. Then where was intelligence? Lastly, the impeachment is a smoke screen. Kenya has more pressing issues, and I agree with what the clergy was saying. Clergy. In fact, how do you take impeachment the day you are supposed to encourage the country to register SHA from NHIF? Don't you see the con games in this? What will be the impact of Uhuru? There are two aspects impact on Uhuru's intake on this impeachment. Uhuru warning is coming to pass. I warned you. And lastly, the impeachment might unite Mount Kenya against a common enemy called William Ruto. And that's how the voice of Uhuru Kenyata will get his way. I can tell you that if Uhuru decides to salvage Rigathi, he will easily outwit Ruto tricks. Because the truth of the matter here is no one knows what next, and even those who are promoting Rigathi impeachment are not so sure how it will go. Thank you.